Being afraid of taking risks keeps you in your safe zone, where you miss out on chances. You will learn how to get out of your comfort zone and succeed in this video by using tried and true methods from the famous fighter Miyamoto Musashi. Step 1. Do one small, silly thing differently today. Do one small, silly thing differently today. This is a trickily easy way to get out of your comfort zone. It may seem silly or even pointless to do this, but that's exactly why it works. Musashi knew that success comes from making a lot of small changes over time and over again. He trained his mind and body by doing the same things over and over, sometimes in ways that seemed strange to other people. With each small change, you became more flexible, more aware, and more brave. You can use the same idea in your own life. Select an action that you do every day without giving it much thought. Then change it in a small, fun way. Switch up the way you get to work, the way your desk is set up, the way you talk to people, or the way you write. It's not necessary for the act to change your life. It helps you by putting you out of your comfort zone just a little, which tells your brain that change is safe and possible. Being funny lessens fear, which is why making it silly works. Your mind sees an action as exploration instead of a high-stakes risk when it feels like play. Musashi often trained in creative ways, trying out new strategies and situations to improve his skills and confidence. By taking a silly first step, you take away the mental weight of being perfect and let yourself explore. These small, planned errors add up over time. With each silly thing you do, the edges of your comfort zone get farther away. You start to notice that things that used to scare you now seem doable. Your fear stops stopping you in its tracks, and your confidence grows on its own. Remember that the point of this step is not to make a big discovery right away. You do it to start the process, show yourself that you can change, and plant the seeds of change. Mastery didn't come to Musashi all of a sudden. He worked at it every day on purpose. You can start your own journey of growth, courage, and change today by taking one small, silly step. Every little thing you do brings you closer to becoming the brave and strong person you were meant to be. Step 2. Pretend you're a character who is brave. We often don't do things because we're afraid because they affect how we see ourselves too much. I'm not brave enough, or that's not my style, are things we tell ourselves. Miyamoto Musashi was always afraid, but he took strong steps forward because he trained his mind to act in line with his purpose instead of waiting for courage to show up. He saw every fight and challenge as a chance to show what a master warrior should be like by focusing on calmness and deliberate action. You can live your own life in the same way. Playing a brave character in your head is a way to practice. Think about the brave version of yourself that always speaks up, takes chances, and tries new things without thinking twice. Put yourself in their shoes and ask, what would they say? Then do what they would do. This method works because it gets rid of your inner judge. You move forward with the mindset of someone who already has courage instead of arguing about whether you feel brave. This method also teaches your brain to connect doing something with being sure of yourself. Musashi didn't just have confidence when he needed it, he trained it by planning ahead and practicing. Thinking, moving, and acting in ways that are brave are what you practice when you act brave. These acts turn into habits over time. When you play a character who is sure of themselves, you become more brave until you don't have to hold back any longer. It's possible to use this method in regular life. If you get nervous before speaking in a meeting, picture yourself as a skilled strategist getting ready for a battle. If you don't want to start a new job, imagine that you are a brave explorer who is exploring uncharted territory. You can move forward despite fear and doubt when you act as if. This helps you gradually leave your comfort zone. Remember that being brave isn't about not being afraid, it's about what you do when you are afraid. You can train yourself to make decisions, take chances, and enjoy challenges by being a brave person. Musashi's lessons tell us that the mind is where mastery starts. Take on the brave parts of yourself today, and every action you take will bring you closer to the fearless, unbeatable you. Step 3. Set a goal to collect interesting no's. People often stay in their safety zones due to fear of rejection, which can lead to feelings of shame, sadness, or criticism. However, Miyamoto Musashi, a renowned martial artist, saw each fight as an opportunity to learn and grow. To change rejection from a fear to a welcome experience, make it your goal to get interesting no's by asking for help, pitching an idea, or doing something you've been putting off. Every no you hear becomes a step forward, a bravery medal that shows you did something even though you were scared. To avoid avoiding no, start seeing it as a good thing. Every refusal teaches you something. What doesn't work, what you can do better, or where your strength lies. Don't take it personally, but see it as feedback, data, or a story you'll tell tomorrow. Musashi did well because he constantly put himself in difficult situations, knowing that discomfort is where skill and confidence grow. Getting more no's changes how you deal with fear over time. What was scary at first becomes doable, and you start to understand that most no's are short-term, safe, and sometimes even funny when you look back on them. By actively seeking rejection, you can get out of your comfort zone, become more resilient, and gain the courage to take on bigger tasks. Musashi's life demonstrates that mastery is not the lack of problems, but the calm, strategic, and persistent ability to face them over and over again. Step 4. Focus on the story you'll get to tell later. We often feel too much fear because we are too focused on the pain or loss that is happening right now. Musashi was very aware of this. He fought in duels where life or death was at stake, but he didn't let fear control him. He saw each problem as a part of a bigger journey, a story of growth, success, and strength. A lot of the power of fear is taken away when you think about the story you'll get to tell later. Think about where you'll be in 5 years. What will you be proud of when you look back? It's not often that you remember times when you played it safe. But the stories that are worth telling are the ones about when you did something brave, tried something new, or stepped into pain. Musashi's life was full of stories like these: duels in small towns, training in strange ways, and strict self-discipline that never gave up. Every task and risk turned into a part of his story of mastery. Failure can be seen in a new way by focusing on the story. The event itself becomes meaningful, even if the outcome isn't perfect. Every time you step out of your comfort zone, it's a brave story and a memory of action instead of sorrow. See that which you can't see with the eye, Musashi wrote. Asterisk in this case, the story is that result that you can't see right away but will become clear in the long run because of your courage. You can use this right away. Before you do something that will make you feel bad, stop and ask yourself, what will I tell my future self about this moment? Picture yourself talking about the event with pride, humor, or motivation. This mental practice gets you excited and motivated, which makes it easier to deal with the pain you're feeling right now. When you think about the story you'll get to tell later instead of your instant fear, you naturally act with courage and purpose. When you step out of your comfort zone, it's like writing a new chapter in your life. Each one is full of lessons, growth, and successes. As time goes on, you get out of your comfort zone, your confidence grows, and your life turns into a collection of brave and strong stories, just like Miyamoto Musashi's famous path. Step 5. Give yourself a high five just for trying. Musashi's life shows us that actions, not results, are what lead to success and growth. He trained hard every day, even when he was scared, tired, or unsure of what to do. He cared about both the process and the outcome. A great way to really understand this concept is to give yourself a high five for trying. You should feel good about leaving your comfort zone every time you do it. Celebrating your action, either physically or mentally, starts a positive feedback loop. Your brain starts to connect effort with reward, which weakens fear. Musashi's training was planned and consistent. He practiced skills over and over again without just focusing on winning duels. It was a win every time he practiced because it brought him closer to mastery. Giving yourself a reward for trying shows appreciation for the bravery it took to do something and the little wins that add up to big growth. It's not about bragging or spoiling yourself with this high five. It's about encouraging a way of thinking that values hard work and bravery. Say to yourself, I did it, after giving a tough call, ending a draft, or trying something new. I showed up. You can clap your hands, smile, or cheer in your head. This habit makes you stronger over time, boosts your confidence, and pushes you out of your comfort zone. It's easier to be brave when you expect to be rewarded for your efforts as well as your results. Don't forget that success is a path and that the real win is showing up every day. Step 6. Ask yourself, what's the worst that could realistically happen? Fear often makes bad things worse. Even though Musashi was in life-or-death situations, he trained to see things clearly. He knew that overstating the risk stops people from acting. When you feel scared, take a moment to ask yourself, what's the worst thing that could really happen? Note it down. Most of the time, the worst-case situation can be handled. By facing it head-on, you lower your stress and gain perspective. Fear is seen as a task instead of a threat in this activity. Musashi's duels required a cold, logical look at the risks. He thought about his opponents, the terrain, and the time to make smart choices. In the same way, a reasonable assessment gives you the power to act without letting imagined disasters stop you. You can plan for what to do if the worst happens and move forward with faith once you know what that is. When fear is based on facts instead of guesses, it goes away. Step 7. Plan a fun reward for your courage, not just your success. Musashi's philosophy said that the road to mastery was just as important as the victory. While success is nice, bravery should also be praised. Plan a reward for being brave, like finishing a job, speaking up, or taking a chance, not just for what happened. It could be a treat, a break, or something fun you like to do. Giving yourself a reward for being brave makes you more likely to leave your comfort zone. You are more likely to act even when you are scared when benefits are tied to effort. Musashi trained for years even though he didn't need to be famous. He did it because he believed in the value of practice itself. In the same way, respecting courage makes you stronger on the inside. This method produces a feedback loop. Being brave earns you a reward, that reward drives you to take action, that action boosts your confidence, and that confidence helps you get out of your comfort zone. Fear loses its power over time as you learn that going through pain is both satisfying and life-changing.